What have we done, YouTube? What have we done? Where are we? We've fallen asleep. We're in a deep sleep. We're alone. This is scary. Welcome to part 13 of Dragon Age Origins with a Therapist. I appreciate so much that you have made it to this point in the game. I have no idea what to expect tonight, but I am sure it is going to be bananas. As always, please make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video. Check out the links in the description. Leave a comment if you like. And subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference. YouTube is blowing up at the time of me making this video, and I hope that you will contribute to the blow up. Tell people about this channel if you think that they would enjoy it. Watch my other playthroughs. Thank you so much, whether you bring me along in the background while you're getting work done, whether you are fully invested in the video itself, however it is that you consume my content, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Also, make sure you come hang out with us on Twitch sometime, 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. I know my hours are ass. You can watch me whenever you want when you're on YouTube, but if you happen to be awake during that time, join us. Just gonna crash my game real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and let it crash. We're just gonna let that happen, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna reopen it. It's not crashed, and we're good to go. Okay, it was just playing with you. That's what this guy. Okay, that's it. Let's go. Let's rock. Okay, this looks a lot like Ostagar, does it not? Got similar vibes, but I don't know that this is actually Ostagar. Look at this. We got floaty platforms. Our friends are gone. Just want to take a second to just take inventory of the area we're in. Duncan? Oh man, this would be... Alright, so you may not have expected a little mental health tidbit here, but we're going to use one real quick because this is a really precarious situation for us. What makes this moment very eerie and scary is not even necessarily the content of what's happening in this moment. It is the process of what's happening in this moment. We don't know what is actually happening. And because we live in this world where things like this are possible, it makes this that much more complicated. What we are likely to do here when we have an experience that is in violation of any expectations we could have possibly thought of is we are going to try to assimilate this moment into those pre-existing expectations. And one of the ways that we would do that here might be to say, I must be dreaming. This must be a dream world. And if that's the thing that we choose to do, that sets a whole cascade of events into motion here. It's a very important moment. Anytime you're entering a foreign moment is how you initially frame it. Because if we take this as a dream, then we are likely to take all other stimulus in this environment as if it is a dream. So we're going to question it. We might be skeptical. We might think that something else is controlling it, that this isn't real, that whatever engagements we have are attempts to be manipulative to us, whatever, and that we could somehow get out of here. That would be assimilation. It's a lot easier for us to do that, just assume it's a dream and move on. That may not actually be the case, though. It very well could be that this is real. Like the Duncan sitting in front of us may not be a figment of our imagination. That may actually be Duncan. Maybe he just got sent off to some sort of shadow realm or something, and that's where we are right now. That's a possibility in the world that we live in because we've heard of things like the Fade. So it makes this incredibly uneasy for us because our brain desperately wants to know what's happening here. It wants nice 90-degree angles. It wants things to be black and white. It wants things to be explained and clear. We don't have that. Our best chance at survival here is not to make a call on what this is, but to respond to it and be constantly evaluating the novelty of it. So we want to keep in mind this could be real, this could be a dream. The only thing we can control is how we react to it. And that is the most important part of this. So I'm not going to try to control figuring out what this is. I'm going to control my own responses and actions within it. And I'm going to try to take that information to make a more sophisticated map of what this actually might be, whether it's reality, whether it's dream, etc. This is really interesting stuff from a mental perspective, because think of how intriguing it is, right? Like when we plopped into this at the end of the last episode and we're standing here now, we're like, what is this? Our brain wants to make answers as quickly as possible. And you do not want to use your pre-existing assumptions to make a call on what a foreign moment is. We can use it to give us some idea of what it is, to create a working template, but we need to use the actual data that we have here so that we don't cognitively bias ourselves into what it isn't, which could put us in further danger. I know that we're talking about like a shadow realm or something, whatever, here in this game, but it does apply to real life when we're talking about events or situations that are novel to you that you've not been in before. Be really mindful of the way that your biases and your pre-existing experiences affect the way that you make sense of what's around you, and refocus yourself to taking in the information that's actually at hand and responding to that instead of what you think it is, as best you can. Okay. Here we go.
Ah, there you are. I'm not disturbing you, am I?
Now, until we have further information, I'm going to react to him authentically. He could be my own projection. He could be a created projection that is thrust toward me. He could be real. I don't know. I do remember what I was doing. He is a bit disturbing. But I'm going to go with this because it would be probably the most natural response I would have had to him when he was real. No, you're not disturbing me. Do you need something from me? We're going to play it cool as well. I don't want to show that I'm distressed by this.
You've been at Weishaupt for some time now. Do you like it here?
Weishaupt? Is that like a... Sounds like the name of like a German brewery. Again, we're going to play it cool here. Yes, of course, it's a beautiful fortress.
It will stand as a testament to the time when the Grey Wardens were needed to fight the Darkspawn.
Speak as though the Darkspawn are no longer a problem.
The Darkspawn are gone, remember? You were there in the last great battle. It was a triumph for all of us, bringing down the Archdemon and setting the underground lairs ablaze.
I want to be very clear really right now, chat. If you know more about this situation that we're in, do not share it in chat. The uncertainty of what this environment is an interesting part of this. So do not give any information about what this is that we have not already learned. I have not read the Codex for a reason. It was a triumph for all of us, bringing down the Archdemon and setting underground lairs ablaze. If the Darkspawn are gone, then we are no longer needed. Then what shall the Grey Wardens do? I mean, his behavior is already anomalous to what our experience was of him when we first met him. So, my antennae are already up. What shall the Grey Wardens do? Asking questions is going to do a lot more for me than making statements is.
The Grey Wardens shall be keepers of history. We shall tell tales and sing songs of a more tumultuous time, that others may rejoice in knowing that that time is past.
Duncan, I know, would never rest on his laurels. Yeah, there's no way I don't know that Duncan says that.
The Duncan you know was a man forged in the fires of war. I am different now, at peace. I have learned to be tranquil.
I don't think you're Duncan.
Foolish child. I have given you so much and you cast it back in my face. Can you not be content with the peace I offer?
Ooh, that's a little more Duncan-like. You offer complacency, not peace. The Darkspawn are not gone. To ignore them is irresponsible. Yeah, they're not gone. We know they're not gone.
It seems only war and death will satisfy you. So be it. Have your war and your Darkspawn. May they be your doom.
Yay. Still bleed. Quite a fascinating sentiment there. I realize that this Duncan obviously is not Duncan. He really turned that on us in a complicated way. Where he, his entire thing about the Grey Wardens when we first met him was like, we exist to fight the Darkspawn. Our entire identity is built relative to something else. And then when we commit to that identity, when we say, yeah, this is something that I am willing to keep in mind at all times, I recognize that my role as a Grey Warden is one that is useful when Darkspawn are around. That doesn't mean that we want the Blight. It doesn't mean that I want Darkspawn around. It means I don't want them around, which is why I pledged my life to fighting them. But this, I don't know, we'll call him Demon Duncan, I guess, turned that to make it seem as if the awful part of my job, the thing that I've committed to, is an inherent value attribution. It's part of who I am, that I am essentially embracing and even enjoying and wrapping my identity around the fact that I would want Darkspawn around so that I could fight them. The reason that this personally gets me a bit fired up is because this is the same ideology that people bring at times to therapists. That people assume that therapists want people to struggle so that we can maintain a job. And that is not true. If I would happily trade my profession, my career, for an entire populace of people who are satisfied and well-adjusted and accomplishing their goals and happy. I'd be more than happy to find something else to do if that was the case. The reason that my job exists is because that is not the reality that we live in. And people will sometimes get cynical, not just about my profession, but about other professions that are designed to help, by essentially saying you want the problem to exist so that you can exist. And that is so not the case in so many ways that, like, if it was the case for anybody, they would be an anomaly. So be very careful not to assume that people want pain and suffering so they can make it better. That's generally not how people operate, unless they're evil. I get similar comments as a law student. Right, yeah, I mean, a lot of people get it. It'd be like in the military. Oh, you must want terrorism to exist so that you can go fight wars. No. I just want to help. The Grey Wardens in this case just want to help. They want to protect people from the Blight. They want to protect people from the Darkspawn. I don't want them to exist any more than you do. But people get really cynical about stuff like this, and you got to be careful about that. Sometimes it comes from a place of just struggling to understand why somebody would want to be in a particular type of profession. Duncan saying that to us is particularly powerful because Duncan shares that identity with us. So it makes it that much more nefarious what he said. Lyrium vein. Lyrium. More than half the wealth of Orzammar comes from a single, extremely rare substance, lyrium. The Chantry believes it to be the waters of the Fade mentioned in the Canticle of Theonodes, the very stuff of creation itself, from whence the Maker fashioned the world. Only a handful of mining caste families hazard extracting the ore, finding veins in the stone quite literally by ear. For in its raw form, lyrium sings, and the discerning can hear the sound even through solid rock. Even though dwarves have a natural resistance, raw lyrium is dangerous for all but the most experienced of the mining caste to handle. Even for dwarves, exposure to the unprocessed mineral can cause deafness or memory loss. For humans and elves, direct contact with lyrium ore produces nausea, blistering of the skin, and dementia. Good thing I just touched some. Mages cannot even approach unprocessed lyrium. Doing so is invariably fatal. Jeez. Despite its dangers, lyrium is the single most valuable mineral currently known. In the Tevinter Imperium, it has been known to command a higher price than diamond. The dwarves sell very little of the processed mineral to the surface, giving the greater portion of what they mine to their own smiths, who use it in forging all of the truly superior dwarven weapons and armor. What processed lyrium is sold on the surface goes only to the Chantry, who strictly control the supply. From the Chantry, it is dispensed both to the Templars, who make use of it in tracking the fighting Maleficarum, and to the Circle. In the hands of the Circle, lyrium reaches its fullest potential. Therefore, Mari craftsmen transform it into an array of useful items from the practicals, such as a magically hardened stone for construction to the legendary silver armor of King Calenhad. When mixed into liquid and ingested, lyrium allows mages to enter the Fade fully aware, unlike all others who reach it only while dreaming. Such potions can also be used to aid in the casting of especially taxing spells, for a short time granting a mage far greater power than he normally wields. Lyrium has its costs, however. Prolonged use becomes addictive, the cravings unbearable. Over time, Templars grow disoriented, incapable of distinguishing memory from present or dream from waking. They frequently become paranoid, as their worst memories and nightmares haunt their waking hours. Mages have additionally been known to suffer physical mutation. The Magister Lords of the Tevinter Imperium were widely reputed to have been so affected by their years of lyrium use that they could not be recognized by their own kin, nor even as creatures that had once been human. From In the Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genitivi. That is intense. That is intense. Alistair did mention how Templars become addicted to lyrium. Coquin, thank you very much for the subscription. I appreciate that, friend. Well, that's cool. That gives us a little more knowledge of how wild that shit is. So we really shouldn't be using it, huh? Alright, Fade Pedestal. Oh boy, what is this? Weishaupt Fortress. The Raw Fade. Okay, well. Oh lordy lord. So we're in the Fade.
Who are you? Where did you come from? Are you a demon? No, I see that you're not. You're like me. Congratulations on getting out of that trap.
Trap?
The demon traps everything that comes here in a dream it thinks they can't or won't try to leave. I thought I'd escape too, but I've been wandering these empty grey spaces for a lifetime.
Oh, man. Who are you?
My name is Njal.
Oh.
I was trying to save the Circle when I encountered the Sloth demon. I expect our experiences were similar.
Yeah. Owain mentioned you.
Owain helped me greatly. I suppose I'll never be able to repay him. Litany was our weapon against the Blood Mage's domination. But it's too late. Everyone's dead.
And, why are there so many Blood Mages here?
I don't know. They must have been practicing in secret, even teaching others. I knew these people, trusted them. The Litany was our only hope of saving the Circle. But now, this place drains you of everything. Hope, feeling, life.
Yeah, we'll find a way out.
No, there is no way out of here. You think there might be, but you'd be wrong. You see that pedestal there? I've studied the runes on it. Runes that signify different islands of the Sloth Demon's domain. The Sloth Demon itself is on the center island, but you can't get there. The 5 islands around the center somehow form a protective ward. I thought I was getting somewhere when I figured that out, and I went to each island in turn only to have my hopes dashed. There's always an obstacle. You'll see the path but be unable to get to it. It taunts you and drives you mad.
That sounds terrible. There's always an obstacle. You'll see the path but be unable to get to it, and it taunts you and drives you mad. That would be terrible. Alright. Could my companions be on one of the islands?
I don't know. There are many dreamers. You might find a way to reach them through the islands. If you're lucky.
Tell me about the protective ward. I need as much information as I can get.
I don't know much. I think the Sloth Demon has placed less... It was truly the stuff of nightmares. They take different shapes, but they're there. Defeating them may be the only way to reach the Sloth Demon. But you have to get to them first. I couldn't. I was too afraid to try.
You mentioned obstacles before. What do you know about the Sloth Demon?
Not much. You couldn't say we were friends, really. Demons have their own hierarchies. They play their own games, and mortals serve as pawns, perhaps even bargaining chips. The demon keeping us here probably rules this entire section of the Fade. It'll not let us go easily, if at all.
If we work together, man, we could get this done.
Nothing dampens your spirit, does it? I don't know whether to admire or pity you.
Mentioned obstacles?
Yes. Obstacles and mad dream things. A river of flame before a portal, or a door that shows you freedom through a keyhole that no key will fit. I once found a passageway smaller than my hand with a mouse going to and fro through it. Silly thing fled before I could question it.
Or you could question it.
Mice are timid creatures by nature, even mice that are really people. Almost everyone you see here is a dreamer of some sort. Each dreamer may know things another may not. The mouse could have told me what lay beyond the tiny passage, or how to get there. Even how I might make myself small like him and crawl through myself. And if one could become small enough to take one path, perhaps there are similar ways to walk the others.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. Alright, I'll be back, man.
Don't mind me, then.
Okay. Codex. Sloth Demon. And I looked at the creature, and it had become me. A veritable copy of my form, of my very mind, stared back at me as if from within a mirror. I thought surely that this was a trick, an illusion meant to put me off guard, but as I engaged the thing with my sword, it fought me with maneuvers that I recognized. It parried as I parried, it swung as I swung. It spoke to me and said things that only I could know. I think this demon of sloth has no form or identity of its own. It is envy as much as sloth. I believe, and mine was not the first shape it stole that day. An excerpt from a transcribed deposition of Tyrannus, Templar commander of Cumberland at 390 Towers. The most difficult assumption for some who study demons to overcome is the notion that a sloth demon is, in and of itself, slothful. If that were so, it seems highly unlikely that any such demons would cross the veil into our own world, or once here would fight to possess any creature with a will of its own. And we know both these things to not be the case. Certainly some demons are lazy and complacent, but who knows? Perhaps these creatures even cultivate such a reputation. The truth is that demons of sloth are named so because this is the portion of the human psyche that they feed upon. Doubt, apathy, entropy. They seek to spread these things. The sloth demon hides in its forms. A master of shapes and disguise is always in the last place you look. And from its hiding place it spreads its influence. A community afflicted by a demon of sloth could soon become a dilapidated pit where injustices are allowed to pass without comment, and none of the residents could be aware that such a change has even taken place. The sloth demon weakens, tires, tears at the edges of consciousness, and would much rather render its victim helpless than engage in a true conflict. Such creatures are best faced only with a great deal of will, and only with an eye to piercing their many disguises. Wow. That sounds terrifying. I can't wait till we run into a pride demon, because pride demons are the worst. I don't know how you get much worse than this. So this is really cool stuff, because the main driver for this sloth demon, it would seem, is apathy. It wins when apathy presents itself. For those who don't know what apathy is a synonym for indifference, where you basically say, I don't care. A lot of times, apathy is considered to be like the worst possible presence in human relationships, particularly in committed relationships, but also that can relate to commitments, because apathy is very poisonous. It's a toxin, and when you don't care, you give up. Most humans give up. That's the general response. Apathy is something that is exacerbated by depression. Depression can certainly bring about apathy, but people can experience apathy for all sorts of reasons. You don't have to be depressed to experience apathy. Apathy is often a sign of burnout. It is a sign that maybe your interests are elsewhere. It's a sign that you've been stretched so thin that it's a coping mechanism. I think that's an important thing for people to understand. That people engage in an apathetic perspective on stuff when they are trying to cope with it. I don't care is a very easy way to deflect and create distance between yourself and whatever it is you're saying you don't care about. And if it is not attended to, it can the reaction that people have to apathy can destroy relationships. In this case, it's led to this guy giving up on trying to get out of the realm. So if the sloth demon can get you to access apathy as your coping mechanism, it gets to hold you in the fade. So what we have to do is everything we can to find things to connect with so that we give a damn here. In couples therapy, I tell couples all the time, if any one of you gets apathetic toward the relationship, you need to tell me, because that's where we have to go. I can't go anywhere if apathy is present. And that is the case for pretty much anything. So recognize apathy as a coping mechanism. Ask yourself if that means you need a change of scenery, or a change of attitude, or a change of something else. Sometimes apathy is a good indicator that maybe you shouldn't be dealing with what you're dealing with. A lot of times it's just a sign that you're overwhelmed. Oh, man. Apathy is very difficult to fight with. So this is going to be interesting if we run into a bunch of people.
I'd die like this.
Yeah, see, he's given up.
In this cold, forsaken place.
He's resigned himself.
Alone.
Right? He's totally resigned himself to the fact that he's stuck here. You're not alone, man.
Right. Some random stranger will be my sole companion for the rest of my short, pathetic life. Look, I'm sorry if I'm not bright and cheery. I failed the circle and I'm going to die here, and let's just change the subject.
What do you know about the litany of Adrala?
Not much. I know that it stops blood mages from taking over your mind. I don't even know who or what Adrala is. You're better off asking someone more knowledgeable.
Blood Mage is responsible for all this?
Uldred is the mastermind behind it all. At Uldred's suggestion, the Circle was about to ally itself with Loghain when the Terns' treachery was revealed. Uldred made excuses, but we were having none of it. He panicked then, tried to leave. Irving would not let him.
Okay. What happened?
I was barely paying attention. Such meetings are boring. The course of action usually decided before we even congregate.
How did the trouble start?
Uldred let loose a bolt of energy that flung us all against the far wall. That woke me up. It might have been a signal. That was when a whole group of mages poured into the chamber. And that was when I saw real blood magic in action for the first time in my life. It was like they brought the wrath of the Maker himself down upon our heads.
Where did the abominations come from?
I was just getting to that. Uldred must have also dabbled in demonology. When the fighting started, he tried to summon something, or some things. They overwhelmed him, and when his screaming stopped, Uldred was gone.
Oh. What do you mean by gone?
I'm sure he wishes he were dead. Uldred became an abomination.
Oh, God.
And when I saw it, I ran for my life.
I've fought an abomination before.
Oh, have you? I doubt you've seen anything like this before. Uldred is a powerful mage possessed by a mad thing that cares not a whit for human life. The abomination you met cannot compare to him. I gathered some of my fellows and we obtained the litany from the stockroom. I thought if we disabled the others, we could throw everything we had at Uldred. But I saw my friends fall, one by one. And now it's my turn.
So this guy is turned to apathy and resignation as his own self-punishment for something he perceives to have been his fault. And in turn is not really helping anything by doing that. Honestly, I really believe this, that in a lot of cases there's not a lot of utility to making yourself your own tragic figure. Like, this guy's basically like, oh, poor me. I made a bad decision, and I watched everybody die, so I deserve to just resign myself and call it a day, because I'm, That doesn't really do anybody any good, particularly when when you could decide to do something now. Like, you could take control of this moment and say, you know what, despite the fact that that happened, while I was doing my best, because he's using hindsight in order to judge his actions, I'm going to figure out a way to help the people that are currently here. I'm going to do something for myself. That's a decision that he could make. Instead, he's made himself this tragic figure and is expecting me to feel sorry for him. The only thing that I feel sorry for him for is that he's given up here. Not about the things that led to this moment. Like, whatever. We can atone for that. We can deal with it. But there are people here that we could save. You could be saved. You could do something about this. You just have to decide to do something about it. Your resignation is a decision. And if he wants to own that decision, say, yeah, man, that's fine. I get it. It's my decision. I've decided to resign. All right, so be it. But if this guy's going to be like, woe is me, and this could be better, and he's not actively doing anything about it, that's kind of on him. What do you know about the Sloth Demon?
Not much. You couldn't say we
Oh,
were
you already
afraid.
answered this. Okay.
It'll not let us go easily, if at all. Off you go then. Save the... Don't mind.
Alrighty, so... Fade Portal. Lyrium Vein. Another one, huh? Give myself some more scabbing. Okay, so Fade Pedestal. A dreamer here is stopping this from working. Door here. So let's go through this portal and see what happens.
Going. I just want to leave this place. Help!
Hey, there's the mouse.
Thank you, but too late for me. Kill Yavina, the demoness that rules here. She protects her master, Sloth. There's a door only demons can see. The key must be in another realm. Take my power. Save any others trapped in nightmares. Kill the demons that guard Sloth. Make my...
Fade Shapeshifting. The Shade Shapeshifting menu lets you select different forms while in the Fade. Each form has its own strengths and weaknesses. You can now shapeshift into a mouse. The mouse form is weak and cannot engage enemies in combat, but it is particularly stealthy and allows you to move through small mouse holes. Wow, okay. This is not at all what I was expecting tonight. There's a mouse hole right there. Alright, we're gonna take a gander at this place, see what the deal is, and then perhaps move forward. This place totally sucks. Stealth makes it possible for you to deal devastating surprise attack. Mouse hole. I'm gonna just kill this. I'm gonna kill this thing.
Yes.
I need to be stealthy. Disturbing statue. Beyond the veil, spirits and demons. It is challenging enough for the casual observer to tell the difference between the Fade and the creatures that live within it, let alone between one type of spirit and another. In truth, there is little that distinguishes them, even for the most astute mages. Since spirits are not physical entities and are therefore not restricted to recognizable forms, or even having a form at all, one can never tell for certain what is alive and what is merely part of the scenery. It is therefore advisable for the inexperienced researcher to greet all objects he encounters. Typically, we misuse the term spirit to refer only to the benign, or at least less malevolent, creatures of the Fade, but in truth, all denizens of the realm beyond the veil are spirits. As the Chant of Light notes, everything within the Fade is a mimicry of our world, a poor imitation, for the spirits do not remotely understand what they are copying. It is no surprise that much of the Fade appears like a manuscript, translated from Tevinter to Arlesian and back again by drunken initiates. In general, spirits are not complex, or rather, they are not complex as we understand such things. Each one seizes upon a single facet of human experience: rage, hunger, compassion, hope, etc. This one idea becomes their identity. We classify as demons those spirits who identify themselves with darker human emotions and ideas. The most common and weakest form of demon one encounters in the Fade is the Rage Demon. They are much like perpetually boiling kettles, for they exist only to vent the hatred, but rarely have an object to hate. Somewhat above these are the Hunger Demons, those who little but eat or attempt to eat anything they encounter, including other demons. It is rarely successful. Then there are the Sloth Demons. These are the first intelligent creatures that one typically finds in the Fade. They are dangerous only on those rare occasions that they can be induced to get up and do harm. Desire demons are more clever and far more powerful, using all forms of bribery to induce mortals into their realms. Wealth, love, vengeance, whatever lies closest to your heart. The most powerful demons yet encountered are the pride demons, perhaps because they, among all their kind, most resemble men. From Beyond the Veil, Spirits and Demons by Enchanter Midramel. Creatures. Rat. What are you, mad? Even the most giant of rats isn't going to present that much of a problem to anyone larger than a cat. Even the stories in the archives that tell of blight-touched rats still only attributed them with the ability to spread the plague. The rats themselves got no larger than perhaps 3 feet in length, covered in sharp, bony spikes and boils. Disturbing, certainly, but dangerous? This is no fantasy conjured by madmen, young man. You have much more important creatures to concern yourself with. Transcript of a lecture given by Nylia, Senior Enchanter of Hosberg, 844 Blessed. Note that she was later eaten by a blight rat in 846 Blessed. Oh, jeez. Kind of looks like Illidan. Alright. I'm going to use the lyrium veins only because it's going to help me keep track of where I have been and where I have not been. So we go through this portal. Door here. Lesser shade. Rage demon. Now on fire. Give myself a rash with all of this lyrium. So I am interested in these doors that we keep running into. Something tells me those are going to be useful later on. So we just did a big old circle.
Something happened, didn't it? You look a little different. What happened?
Became a mouse.
Did you? Did it help? I know I saw the tiny holes. Were you small enough to get through?
There is absolutely, positively, 100% zero reason for me to say to him, I thought you'd given up, why so excited? That is the worst possible thing I could say to him. Do not punish people for desirable behavior. This guy has been stuck in the Fade for God knows how long. He was apathetic. He was depressed. He had resigned himself. We get him energized because of the fact that I turned into a mouse. Let's cultivate that. There is no reason to shut that down and punish it. Like, all that does is make me look like an asshole. It's the, you've changed your mind, huh? Like, it's okay for people to gain energy, to get a little spark of motivation, to see something that inspires them and to learn something, and it changes their mind and their perspective, and then maybe they want to like get activated and do something. We want to cultivate that because we need his brain in the game here. There is no reason for me to just go at him for that, of why so excited. You've been a bummer up until this point. So let's engage with him as he's presenting to us. I don't need a gotcha moment here with him. Yeah, it was easy.
You're so much braver than I am. I was so sure it was impossible to get anywhere. Do you think you could learn other shapes? Maybe they could help you get to places you couldn't otherwise.
Yeah, I like your excitement about that, man. And I'm pretty sure I could get about 4 different shapes. Don't know how I know that, just a hunch. Just a feeling I got that I'm going to be able to do 4 different shapes, big guy. Alright, Fade Pedestal. Go It's a big ass pentagram. Alright, Darkspawn, Invasion, the Templar's Nightmare, the Mage's Asunder, the Burning Tower. The Raw Fade. Alright, let's go. Oh, man. Okay, this is cool. So the Sloth demon tries to create situations that it believes that people will never want to leave. It is interesting that the Sloth demon thought that I would want to be in Ostagar with Duncan. It maybe grossly overassumed my identity as a Grey Warden. And that being with my man Duncan, who I'm not particularly fond of, as you know, would be what I want to hang out with for the rest of my life. Could not have been more wrong. Do better, Sloth demon. We got Darkspawn in here. Interesting. That's a good point, Swag. Good point. Oh, no coin on these Darkspawn, huh? Thought maybe I'd get a little money. Oh, this is... Okay, so this is like an actual labyrinth here. Alright, so we gotta pay attention because this is an actual maze. Seems. Alright, Amelia. That said, I do want to kill literally everything in here, so we're going to explore every nook and cranny. Powerful Herlock. Whoa, what's up, bud? You got nothing on me. Oh, ah. How about you? I like when people say it. People don't say that anymore. When's the last time you heard somebody in real life say, "Have at you," and actually mean it? This guy. These guys are assholes. These emissaries are assholes. All right, it's just a dream. Just a dream. This fire's not real. Do I feel it warming up? Oh! No, it's not real. It's not real. It's real. I should have saved before I did that. I'm a dumbass. Where you going, Ryan? Okay. That fire is real. It would seem. Okay. So I probably need to be some sort of form that can go through the fire. So we're gonna leave here. Sylvan, if you want my reasoning on that, I don't know if you've watched episodes like 1 through 3, but You'll get plenty of it there. Right, okay, so he said this would happen, right? That you can see the path, but you annoyingly can't get to where you want to go. So this is part of it, right? This is designed to be ridiculously frustrating. And that's okay. There's a mouse hole here. This is good. Alright. We're gonna go through this door first, though. Oh, okay, I got you, Sylvan. All good. I just wanted to make sure you knew I talked about it, because I definitely talked about it a lot. Jesus. Another mouse hole in here. Arcane horror. Ooh, scary. Nothing on me. This is a cool area. It says. It's the... God. Okay. Alright. So there's a lot of mouse holes here. Fade portal, which I don't know if I want to go in yet. So let's go see what the dealio is here with these. This one goes to this one. Okay. Over here. This one goes. This is a... Oh! Oh! Howdy-ho, man. What's up, big guy? Okay. Oh, this is bad. God damn it. I really wish I didn't fall down. Get up, Ryan. Get up. Come in. Ring around the rosy. This is a new area. We started off here, went through this one, took us over here. This open door. Oh, you can walk through the fire, but I can't, huh? Door is locked. Can't go through there. Don't think there's another mouse hole around here, so we're gonna try Fade Portal. Yes. See where that takes us. Back over here. Wait a minute. Oh, man. Okay. I get how this works, kind of. Through here. Out here. Let's try this one. Back here. Try this one. Cool. Okay. So, in order to get... We're going to have to figure out a way to get through that flaming spot, I think. Which means we're going to go to this place. We're just going to... We're going to go through all these. We're going to get a lay of the land. And then we'll see what we need to do.
I've had enough of this.
These guys are probably terrified and think that I'm some sort of like figment of this place, which would make sense. At least they have, like, nice accommodations in here. Bookcase. Ooh, yay! More codex. History of the Circle. It is a truth universally acknowledged that nothing is more successful at inspiring a person to mischief as being told not to do something. Unfortunately, the Chantry of the Divine Age had some trouble with obvious truths. Although it did not outlaw magic, quite the contrary, as the Chantry relied upon magic to kindle the eternal flame which burns in every brazier in every Chantry. Relegated mages to lighting candles and lamps, perhaps occasional dusting of rafters and eaves. I will give my readers a moment to contemplate how well such a role satisfied the mages of the time. It surprised absolutely no one when the mages of Val Royeaux, in protest, snuffed out the sacred flames of the cathedral and barricaded themselves inside the choir loft. No one, that is, but divine Ambrosia too, who was outraged and attempted to order an exalted march upon her own cathedral. Even her most devout Templars discouraged that idea. For 21 days, the fires remained unlit while negotiations were conducted, the legend tells us, by shouting back and forth from the loft. The mages went cheerily into exile in a remote fortress outside the capital, where they would be kept under a watchful eye of the Templars and a council of their own elder magi. Outside of normal society and outside of the Chantry, the mages would form their own closed society, the Circle, separated for the first time in human history. From Fires, Circles, and Templars, A History of Magic in the Chantry by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. So that is actually super interesting, because that suggests that the tower is not somewhere that they have been pushed toward, but was instead their own doing as a way to separate themselves. History and context, very important. The Veil. I detest this notion that the veil is some manner of invisible curtain that separates the world of the living from the world of the spirits. Whether it be called the Fade or beyond is a matter of racial politics I refuse to indulge in at the moment. There is no this side and that side when it comes to the veil. One cannot think of it as a physical thing or a barrier or even a shimmering wall of holy light. Thank you very much for that image, your perfection. Think of the veil instead as opening one's eyes. Before you opened them, you saw our world as you see it now, static, solid, unchanging. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it, chaotic, ever-changing, a realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is real, more in fact. The spirit sees everything as defined by will and memory, and this is why they are so very lost when they cross the veil. In our world, imagination has no substance. Objects exist independently of how we remember them or what emotions we associate with them. Mages alone possess the power to change the world with their minds, and perhaps this forms the nature of a demon's attraction to them. Who can say? Regardless, the act of passing through the veil is much more about changing one's perceptions than a physical transition. The veil is an idea. It is the act of the transition itself. And it is only the fact that both living things and spirits find the transition difficult that gives the veil any credence as a physical barrier at all. From a dissertation on the Fade as a physical manifestation by Moreno, senior enchanter of the Minrathous Circle of the Magi, 655 Steel. Yo! Hi! What's up, Steph? Welcome in, friend. Those of you coming along with Stuff of Anime, who is a dear, dear friend of the stream, whom all of you should follow. I am DrMick. I'm a licensed couple and family therapist. I have a PhD in human development, and this is Game Sessions with a Therapist, where we play cool games like Dragon Age Origins, and we talk about mental health, psychology, therapy, and more in an effort to destigmatize those things and bring information to people who would not otherwise have it in a responsible and ethical way. I am currently playing through Dragon Age Origins. I use games to illustrate psychological concepts and to talk about mental health. If that sounds really interesting to you, I encourage you to stay and hang out with us. All I ask is that you don't spoil or backseat. Dragon Age has been a really wonderful game to play so far. It's been an amazing opportunity to talk about systemic dynamics and all sorts of stuff like that. So I really appreciate y'all being here, and I hope you'll hang out for a bit. Steph, thank you for the 22 months on top of the raid. I appreciate it immensely. I am grateful for your support. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Seriously, if y'all don't follow Steph of Anime, she is fantastic vibes. Also, Steph, if you will be at TwitchCon, DM me. Finally played some Splatoon 3. Nice. Nice.
We can't trust anybody.
Oh boy.
Especially each other.
The solution is so simple. We kill everyone.
How delightful.
Oh, hey, just eavesdrop. Oh. Oh! Whoa, guys, hey, whoa! Okay. Well. What is this? Dude's all sparkly in death. Alright, we'll figure that out later, I guess. Oh! Whoa! Damn, these servants are strong. Boy, isn't the Veil fun? Oh shit. Oh, I know why my game's doing that. I know exactly why my game's doing that. Alright, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now that I have that figured out. Alright, so there's just invisible rogue servants. Got a nice little spread for being in the Veil, huh? Feasts aplenty here. Alright, there's some smoke oh boy, this is gonna be bad. Ah, okay. That noise that we keep hearing here, the only thing I can think of, that noise right there, that's the noise that they always play in like Kitchen Nightmares and like reality TV. To just, like, add emphasis to something being more tense than it actually is. Every time I hear that noise, I think of freaking Gordon Ramsay. Driving me nuts. So, like, good job, BioWare, because you have me agitated being in the Veil because I keep hearing that shit. I can't stand when TV shows use that. Whee! This turkey's not properly basted. It's raw! The Veil is raw! Alright, so that took us in here. Let's go back through here. Okay. Font of Strength. Permanent +1 increase to strength. Ooh, thank you, Fade. Got a little pile of riches here. Another bookcase. Hell yeah. Hierarchy of the Circle. It is no simple matter, safeguarding ordinary men from mages and mages from themselves. Each circle tower must have some measure of self-government, for it is ever the Maker's will that men be given the power to take responsibility for our own actions, to sin and fail, as well as to achieve the highest grace and glory on our own strength. You, who will be tasked with the protection of the circle, must be aware of its workings. The first enchanter is the heart of any tower. He will determine the course his circle will take. He will choose which apprentices may be tested and made full mages, and you will work most closely with him. Assisting the first enchanter will be the senior enchanters, a small council of the most trusted and experienced magi in the tower. From this group, the next first enchanter is always chosen. Beneath the council are the enchanters. These are the teachers and mentors of the tower, and you must get to know them in order to keep your finger on the pulse of the... Oh my god. It's like in Grand Theft Auto when you find a banshee and then every car is a banshee. All I can hear now is this stupid... Alright, let's try it again. Lock it up, Ryan. Beneath the council are the enchanters. These are the teachers and mentors of the tower, and you must get to know them in order to keep your finger on the pulse of the circle, for the enchanters will always know what is happening among the children. All those who have passed their harrowing but have not taken apprentices are mages. This is where most trouble in the circle lies, in the idleness and inexperience of youth. The untested apprentices are the most numerous denizens of any tower, but they are more often pose threats to themselves due to their lack of training than to anyone else. Knight Commander Serene of the Chantry Templars in a letter to his successor. Love the lore in this game so much. Alright, cool. So we were able to get a little something here. Are there any other mouse holes? So there was this mouse hole, which didn't take us anywhere. There is a... I don't know exactly what that is. We'll find out later, I suppose. I have to figure out a way to get through fire. It would seem. By the way, I appreciate so much all of you who are here on YouTube. Thanks for watching my playthroughs over there. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like the stream. And those of you that are here live on Twitch, thank you as well for being here. If you stuck through any of the raids tonight, thank you for that as well. I appreciate so much your support of my content. Y'all are fabulous. Go check out the burning tower. Good, more fire. More fire. Got another mouse hole here. Door here, and I have the hiccups. Awesome. Well played, Sloth Demon. Give me the hiccups while I do this. Oh, what's up, Burning Templar? Oh, shit. Oh, damn. The only thing that makes Templar armor cooler is when it's on fire. By cooler, I mean hotter, and by hotter, I mean more stylish, and by you all know what I mean. You're picking up what I'm putting down. I know you are. We got to figure out a way to get over there. Perhaps this mouse hole. Everywhere I can go on foot. Yeah, hey-ya! lot of doors here. Okay, can't go through that one. And this is quite the labyrinth. I am here for it. Let's go check out this mouse hole before I go up those stairs. Essence of cunning. +1 permanent increase to cunning. Nice. Love that. Nothing there for us. Over here. Over here. And then we're gonna go up these stairs. And we're gonna go through. And we're gonna get an autosave, which means some shit is about to go down. Oh no! Flaming doggies. Wherever the flames are not. Ah, what up? Yeah. Oh, man, that's brutal. This is so brutal. These guys out. Yeah, yeah. Through the mouse hole. Doing an autosave before I go through the mouse hole.
Must control anger. When it bubbles, it burns. You must die. The anger fading. I am free.
Oh,
Take
welcome to the
Ragos'
fray.
power. Use it and burn him. Burn them all. He guards Sloth. He bars the way. You must destroy the door. Other dreamers. Other powers. Only way.
And do I have to also not speak in complete sentences? Make sure I speak in fragments? Okay, this is awesome. So I can self-immolate here. Oh, dude. Oh, but he died. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, let's go. Dun 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 dun. Burning Man form. The Burning Man is immune to fire. Yes, yes, good. Whoosh. This is awesome. Ha ha ha. Oh, that's how I get out of there. I don't want to. Hold on. We gotta explore some of this other stuff in here. Booyah! This is so badass, man. Whoosh. Whoosh. What is the deal with these doors? Can't go through them yet. This Burning Man is immune to fire and can pass through fires unharmed. However, the form is physically weak and vulnerable to cold damage. It is the fastest of the forms. Whoosh. Can't go through this. Alright, so what we're going to do now that we have Burning Man is we're going to go back to the Darkspawn invasion. We're going to light ourselves up on fire. So I'm glad we did that in that order then, because going counterclockwise may have saved us from having to... Yeah, this is good. This is good. I like where this is going. Yeah. Burning Man. I'm actually really enjoying it, Carradine. I don't know why people complain about this sequence. I find this to be incredibly fun and interesting. Wow, well, just one shit killed that guy? Deal with that. Let's go Burning Man. Through the door. Making progress. Got an autosave, which is always good.
Yes, yes, you. No!
Take me. I will tank them. I don't know who this fellow I fight beside is, but...
They're gone. You did it. You killed them. But not all. Their leaders are behind the unbreakable door. I give you my wisdom. It will let you see. And now I wake.
Let you see. Shape-shifting spirit form. The spirit form is attuned to all things unseen. Allows you to interact with ethereal objects that would normally be hidden from you. Whoa. Cool. There's a mouse hole here. Let's see what's through there. This is why you gotta poke around. Maybe that lets you use doors. Yeah, well, I'm guessing that's probably the case. Yeah, take that. Be my guess. Dark spawn here. See with your special eye. My brand! Yeah, the Mass Effect version of that is always hilarious. I don't know if you've ever seen the Commander Shepard version, but... My brand! Alright, so I'm intrigued by this spirit. Whoa! Dude. Oh, oh, this is so cool. It has spells indeed. Oh, so I can do Winter's Grasp, I can do Crushing Prison, and I can do Regeneration. Lumber through the fade. Essence of willpower. +1 permanent increase to willpower. Cool. Look at this thing, it just lumbers around. It's so badass. Okie dokie. So, there was a door that we could interact with in the Burning Tower that I'm going to go back to. So we're going to be Burning Man. We're going to run through the hall. I'm going to run through the halls of my high school. I will scream at the top of my lungs. 'Cause I just found out there's no such thing as the real world. Yeah, Essence of Cunning. Yes, thank you. And also Essence of Constitution. Thank you. Make me stronger. Yes, good. Dude, being this thing is badass as hell. Alright, so I think that covered that. Now there's a door that is... okay. There's a door in the raw fade. That I will go open. This guy if this guy saw this, he'd be like, "What?" Oh shit. It's the demon. Oh, it's so cold. So cold. Rocked. Jeez, man. Be stronger. Freezes her own shade. Alright. Took her out. That was not so bad. I just like want to be this guy all the time. Twisted structure. The Black City. No traveler to the Fade can fail to spot the Black City. It is one of the few constants that ever-changing place. No matter where one might be, the city is visible, always far off, for it seems that the only rule of geography in the Fade is that all points are equidistant from the Black City. The chant teaches that the Black City was once the seat of the Maker, from whence he ruled the Fade, left empty when men turned away from him. Dreamers do not go there, nor do spirits. Even the most powerful demons seem to avoid the place. It was golden and beautiful once, so the story goes, until a group of powerful Magister Lords from the Tevinter Imperium devised a means of breaking in. When they did so, their presence defiled the city, turning it black, which was, perhaps, the least of their worries. It's certainly possible, Air Dead. Yes, many things are possible. I don't mean to sound dismissive in that answer, but like if your question is whether that's possible, yes, it is certainly possible. Oh, okay, so this is upstairs from where we were earlier, because we went through that area. Let's see what else we have over here. Getting that demon killed was big. That seems to me to be important. Wait, there's the mouse. Oh, man. Okay, this is cool. So now, if we go through here, let's see what my guy thinks about what we just did. What up, homie?
What did you do? I felt something. Like the earth was shifting. Except it probably wasn't the earth.
I killed one of the demons on the islands.
You did? You managed to get to it. I didn't think it was possible. Killing that demon must have opened something. Perhaps the pieces are falling into place now.
What? Okay. Oh, nothing is in, like, don't respond to him. Okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. So we got one path to the middle. Nice. All right, let's go to the Templar's Nightmare. And let's go through this mouse hole. And Burning Man. Cha! And then we go through here and then turn into a mouse. Go through here. Oh, shit. What up, fellas? Alright, and then there's a door here. This is perfect. Okay, so that door, go like this. Save. God, man. Just come on, man. Look at that thing. Look how cool this is. We have disposed of them. We are now in a new area. Where are we relative to... Okay, cool. So we're in this... The elegante way to enter a room, right? Alright, so we got another mouse hole here. We can't go through there. Ah, another one of you. Another one of you. No, no. Don't run away. What are you doing? Oh, Jesus, that's... Oh, man. I thought that was a demon for a second. Burning Man, is there anything back there? Let's go find out. Oh. Just overcomplicating it, that's all. Take me. Oh, Burning Man! Oh, man. Oh, you really turned up the heat here, Sloth Demon. Too bad, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Close the door so it doesn't spread, you know? Slow it down a little bit. Another one. Good, good, good. Alright, we're cruising. We're cruising. Silly fade.
Catch me
Ah!
if you can.
Oh,
I know you want.
oh, you kidding me?
The game isn't over.
Oh my god. Come on. Come on, Ryan. Ooh. Good. Goodbye. Essence of cunning, I'll take it. This is good. Alright, one more demon down. Love to see that. Hell yeah. Alright, so I need to figure out then how to get this guy. We must have missed something, so I'm going back there because I want to see if we can get that point. This door would require massive force to break. Oh! Alright, never mind. So there is something, there's like a brute force something that I'm gonna have to get. Massive force to break. Interesting. I wonder if I get to become like an ogre or something. That would be incredibly badass. Essence of magic. This is great, man. I am enjoying this so much. Yeah, now I can be Burning Man and get through the kitchen. Perfect. Get through here. Good. There's gonna be a rogue guy in here. I know it. Yep. Well, not a rogue guy, but. Oh, I actually got loot. My fight. Oh. Wonder if these guys spawn indefinitely, and if it would be in my best interest to just keep it moving. I'm almost gonna level up though. Y'all just fighting with each other, huh? Ding. Thank you, enthusiast. Alright, strength, cunning. I kind of want to get my cunning up so that I can be a real charmer, you know? Good. Alrighty. Death blow. Each time the warrior fells an enemy, the end of the battle seems closer at hand, restoring a portion of the warrior's stamina. I like that. I like that a lot. First content creator I've ever taken time to find from TikTok. Always wanted to be a therapist. Fortunately, didn't have the mental fortitude to attempt 6 years of college. Hey, I hear that, Sinister. Thank you for taking the time to come hang out with us. I appreciate that. It's going fantastic, Alan. This has been incredibly enjoyable. I also appreciate that y'all are not backseating. Wow. Y'all. Oh, God. What are you doing? Y'all are reckless as shit, man. What a bunch of knuckleheads. There's more bookcases. Is there more lore? I want more lore. Alright, we'll go through this door.
Help me, please!
Ooh. I bet I get to turn into one of those stone dudes. Stone Gollum. Badass, dude. If I get to turn into one of those. Oh.
Thank you. It is time for this dream to come to an end. I give you my strength. It will be of little use against the demon that rules here, but perhaps it will help in other realms. Find a way to kill all the demon lords to open the way to Sloth. Free us all from this nightmare!
Okay. The Gollum form has enormous strength and can smash doors that you would not normally be able to budge. It is also highly resistant to physical attacks, but vulnerable to magical damage. Hell yeah. You know, the Fade's kind of cool. I don't know that I'm ever going to want to leave it. There's really cool shit going on in here. Alright, if you're gonna just heal everybody, you gotta go first. Yo. That's what the demons want you to think. That the Fade is cooler. I know, man. Oh, they got me. They're good salesmen. They're selling me. School of Spirit. The 4 schools of magic. Spirit. Ooh, yay. And the voice of the Maker shook the Fade, saying, "In my image I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing." Threnodies 5:4. The first 2 schools of energy, Spirit, is opposed by the Primal School. It is the School of Mystery, the Ephemeral School. This is the study of the invisible energies which surrounded us at all times, yet are outside of nature. It is from the Fade itself that this magic draws its power. Students of this school cover everything from direct manipulation of mana and spell energies to the study and summoning of spirits themselves. By its nature an esoteric school, as most others know virtually nothing about the Fade, studies of spirit magic are often misunderstood by the general populace, or even confused for blood magic, an unfortunate fate for a most useful branch of study. From the 4 schools, a treatise by first enchanter Josephus. Creatures, the Gollum. Once a crucial part of Orzammar's defenses, golems have all but vanished as the secret to their manufacture was lost over 1,000 years ago. What few golems remain are guarded closely by this Shaperit, brought out when the battle with the Darkspawn grows desperate enough to risk their loss. No one now would sell a golem for any price, but in ancient times, dwarves sold many golems to the magister lords of Tevinter. They are devastating weapons in war, living siege engines capable of hurling boulders like a catapult or plowing through enemy lines like an earthquake. And I'm about to be one, y'all. About to smash this door. Oh, Dr. Mick smash! Like this. Yeah! Ah. Another mazy kind of place here, it seems. Go down here. Go to the right. Open this door. Maybe fight some shit. Yeah, there we go. Stuff. At least I don't fall over with these guys like I do with the ogres. Let's fall to your death. Sense of willpower. Thank you. Even though I don't really need willpower. It's fine. Getting all my kicks. School of the Primal. Those who oppose thee shall know the wrath of heaven. Field and forest shall burn, the sea shall rise and devour them, the wind shall tear their nations from the face of the earth. Lightning shall rain down from the sky. They shall cry out to their false gods and find silence. Andraste 7:19. Sometimes called the School of Power, the Primal School is the second of the schools of energy, balanced by spirit and concerns the most visible and tangible forces of nature itself. This is the magic of war, fire, ice, and lightning, devastation. This is what the vast majority imagines when they hear the word magic. From the Four Schools, a treatise by the first enchanter Josephus. Always down for more lore. Now, it seems to me that that's all we needed from over here, so let's keep it moving. Hey, what up, buddy?
All right.
Next time I see one of those, I should turn into a golem. Have a little golem on golem action. These priests are strong. Man, I'm killing. Oh, mage people. Yoki? Good. All the phrases for my selective hearing to pick up. Gollum on Gollum action was certainly not, well, you know. Creation. Opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered and the world given new life. Threnodies 5-5. The school of creation, sometimes called the school of nature, is second of the schools of matter, the balancing force and complement of entropy. Which is a great album by DrMick, album number 4. It came out in 2022. You can find it in the description, or if you listen to Spotify, it's fantastic. Anyway, creation magic manipulates natural forces, transforming what exists and bringing new things into being. Creation requires considerable finesse, more than any other school, and is therefore rarely mastered. Those mages who have made a serious study of creation are the highest in demand, useful in times of peace as well as war. Thanks, Enchanter Josephus, for all of your work in documenting these things so that we may enjoy them. So we came from over there. Yeah. Here. Oh! Boulder. Guys, let's talk about this. Guys, no, come on. I just want to talk. I can be one of you. No! No! Yeah, knocked your ass down. Weak. Yeah, yeah, how about, yeah, take, oh yeah? Yeah? Take this rock. Huh? Bitch? Come on. You got more? Yeah, take that. +1 to strength, good. Entropy, here we go. An album written in 2022 by DrMick, Entropy, follows the story of... Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I'm still got ambient guitar tracks on the mind that are stream safe and DMCA free. Just, you know... Sorry, let me get it back in. To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. Threnodies 5-7. Second of two schools of matter, entropy is the opposing force of creation. For this reason, it is often called the school of negation. Nothing lives without death. Time inevitably brings an end to all things in the material world, and yet this ending is the seed of a beginning. A river may flood its banks, causing havoc, but bring new life to its floodplain. The fire that burns a forest ushers in new growth, and so it is with entropic magic that we manipulate the forces of erosion, decay, and destruction to create anew. Nice. Great album. Knock, knock. Come on. Come on. This is bad. Oh, this is real bad. Not enjoy that. I didn't care for that. Don't care for Job. Oh. Labyrinth. Fade pedestal in here that we will use shortly, but first. Why do you think he runs like this with his arm out like this? Just ready to dab at any time. Make sure he doesn't get any bugs in his mouth when he glides. Essence of dexterity. Cool. Oh, I like that I continue to get much stronger as I go through this here fade. Look at all these riches. What good is money if you have nothing to spend it on? You know? Nah. Yeah. 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 Badass. Needed to be this guy anyway. Yo. More riches. Dexterity, essence of constitution. This is good stuff. We love all of this. In here that is of interest? It would appear not. Beautiful. Alright, now we go to a nightmare. I don't know what these are, but we're gonna find out, and it's gonna be neato.
Blessed art thou.
Oh, what's up,
who
guys?
dwellest in the sight of the Maker. Blessed art thou who seeks his forgiveness.
Thank the Maker you're safe. I'll say that to them.
Blessed... What? Who are you?
I beg you, do not disturb the girl's meditations.
Revered Mother? I do not know this person.
Okay. Fade's playing tricks on your mind. I don't know that they're gonna listen. Oh, man. See, this is really tricky because in order for them to respond to me saying the Fade is playing tricks on your mind, they would have to believe and think that they're in the Fade. And what we know of the Fade is that they may not actually know that they're in the Fade. They may think that this is reality. So for me to suggest that this is the Fade would be as ridiculous as if I was to say to all of you, it's daytime behind me. Like, no, it's not. So there's really no course of action here that is particularly useful to us because they're on an entirely different plane of reality. So we have to take, remember, we have to take what they give us. If we can maybe sow some seeds of dissonance, that would be very helpful. I'm going to try to take the more gentle approach here by saying we're friends, don't you remember? Because I think saying the plate is playing tricks on your mind, that might be a bit too aggressive, and don't you know me, are you insane is way too aggressive. They could attack me at any minute here, and that puts them and me in danger. So we're gonna try to take this nice and chill, take what we got here. We're friends, don't you remember?
I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Please do not vex her. She needs quiet and solitude to calm her mind and heal her heart.
Yeah, this must be a figment that the Sloth put in here for Leliana. Oh, man. I gotta pick my spot here. Leliana. Yeah, I'm gonna say her name, because that would be important, because that would show that I know her. Listen to me, please. This isn't real.
Isn't real? I don't understand.
You have to trust me when I say this isn't real. Don't you remember why you left the cloister? Ooh. This isn't, I would never say this because she doesn't have any reason to trust me if she's in an entirely different reality. But you don't get just to like pull on trust just because you know you're trustworthy. People mistakenly do this all the time. They say trust me when that person has absolutely no prior experience or doesn't have enough data in the form of pattern to support the fact that you are indeed trustworthy to them. Because in some ways, what you're asking a person to do is make themselves vulnerable in the spirit of whatever the agenda you have is, even if that agenda is in their best interest. So I don't just have that up front. And a lot of times people will say like, oh, well, you can trust me because you know that you're telling the truth. But you can't expect people to just automatically give you the benefit of the doubt, particularly if they don't know you. It's too vulnerable and it's not really great from a survivability standpoint. So we're going to say, don't you remember why you left the cloister? Let's get that dissonance in there.
I remember. There was a sign.
Leliana, we have discussed this sign of yours. The Maker does not care to interfere in the affairs of mortals. This vision was likely the work of demons.
Do not listen to her. Trust in what you know.
The Maker cares for us. I believe he misses his wayward children as much as we miss him. My vision may not be from him, but it guides me to do what is right. My revered mother knew this. I don't know who you are, but you are not her.
All right. She's a demon in disguise here to deceive you. Now that we have the dissonance, now that she has, on her own autonomous kind of way, gotten to a point where she now sees this woman as not being who she thinks she is, now we instill doubt. Now we take control, because now this is an unknown quantity for Leliana. Now we make that a known quantity for her. We have her trust. We are far more likely to succeed here in getting her to realize what we already know. She's a demon in disguise. She's here to deceive you.
Let us leave. My head has not yet cleared, but there is something familiar about you, and I believe I trust you.
This is your home, your refuge. Do you truly wish to leave the comfort of this place behind? Stay and know peace.
There is no need. I carry the peace of the Chantry in my heart.
You are going nowhere,
nice.
girl. I will not permit it.
Yeah, it's starting to get aggressive. Boy. We're leaving whether you like it or not.
No, she is ours. Now and forever.
Behind you!
Glad Leliana took a second to put her helmet on.
Holy Maker! She was
A demon, yes.
My head feels heavy. Like I've just woken up from a terrible nightmare. I believe we had some task to accomplish. Let us be on our way. Wait. What's happening to me?
Ooh, did she just get yoinked out of the Fade? She must have. This. Nice. Okay, let's go back up to the Darkspawn invasion. Let's bust down this door. Making good headway here. Yo! Oh, wow. Okay. A lot to fight. Darkspawn emissary has got to be the first one out here. Shit. Quick work of these fools. I like it. And this would be a real bitch on any harder difficulty setting. Guys are down. Here, get an autosave. Ooh. Ah. Perfection. Alright, whose nightmare is this? Alistair. Ooh, Alistair's in his Templar armor. Oh man.
Hey, it's great to see you again. I was just thinking about you. Isn't that a marvelous coincidence? This is my sister, Goldana. These are her children, and there's more about somewhere. We're one big happy family, at long last.
Alright. Again, same strategy. We empathize first, we wait for the window. You seem very content.
I am. I'm happier than I've been my entire life. Isn't that strange? I thought being a Grey Warden would make me happy, but it didn't. This does.
I'm overjoyed to have my little brother back. I'll never let him out of my sight again.
May I borrow him for a second? We have business elsewhere.
I don't think I'll be coming. I don't want to spend my life fighting, only to end up dead in a pit along with rotting darkspawn corpses.
Well, Alistair, is your friend staying for supper?
Say you'll stay. Goldana's a great cook. Maybe she'll make her mince pie. You can, can't you?
Of course, dear brother. Anything for you.
I can't stay, and you shouldn't either, Alistair.
You're acting really strangely.
Think about this and how you got here, Alistair. Think very carefully, buddy.
All right, if it makes you happy. It's a little fuzzy. That's strange.
Alistair, come and have some tea.
No.
There we go.
Wait. I remember a tower. The circle. It was under attack. There were demons. That's all I really remember.
Sloth, and I'm going to try to help him out a little bit here. The Sloth demon, you remember that?
Are you saying this is a dream? But it's so real.
Of course it's real. Now wash up before supper and I...
Something doesn't feel quite right here. I think I have to go.
With me then.
No, he is ours, and I'd rather see him dead than free.
Of course you would. Man, I think it was very important there for me to kill his sister, because even though he may come to realize that that was just a demon playing as his sister, the image of him actually killing his sister doesn't just go out of his mind. Like, he could be traumatized even if he cognitively knows that that was not real. So in order to spare him of that, I killed her, and then he goes after the zombie things, because that's a little bit easier for him to take in and a lot more palatable. Cognitive override is not always enough to create resistance to trauma. And sometimes people think that if they know enough and they prepare enough and they have enough idea of the way that the world works that they won't be traumatized, and that's not true. You could know that that's not your actual sister and still experience a trauma there, because you literally watched yourself kill what visually looked like your sister, and humans are visual animals. So, and it doesn't change the fact that he also did have some emotional pull there. There was something about the way that that demon created that figment of his sister that was alluring to him. So in some ways, not only would he be killing his sister, he would be killing his idealized internal version of his sister, and that could be that much more traumatizing. So let me take that out of his hands. It's a lot easier for him to make sense of it if he watches me do it instead of doing it by his own hand. It's not enough sometimes to just know that a traumatic thing is happening. Like, you can still experience it. In the same way that people who go to war know they might be in combat, it doesn't change the fact that they can still be traumatized by it. You might have some extra resilience to it, but you're not immune. Yeah, the Fade is a really terrifying thing from a psychological perspective. It really is.
Goldana? I can't believe it. How did I not see this earlier?
Because you're in the Fade and that was a demon. Like, you can't kick yourself for this. See, Alistair has a tendency to... You want a little bit of a window into Alistair's psyche here, because this is now a pattern. And one thing that I look for in psychological profiling is patterns. Alistair has a tendency to assume responsibility for things that are not always within his range of control. And this is another example of that. His immediate reaction to this is, how did I not see this earlier? When we talk to him at the camp about some of the things that's happened in his past, something like Duncan or Kaelin, he says, how could I have not, I should have been able to do something, when he wasn't even in proximity to them. Alistair's overcompensation protocol, so to speak, for the unknown and for adversity is to try to take his own control of it cognitively and blame himself and see himself as having shortcomings, when the reality is anybody would have fallen for this, because it's the Fade and he's being controlled by a demon. The reason that this is important is because if Alistair continues to go into those types of narratives, it's going to degrade his esteem, and it may actually prevent him from making smart decisions going forward, because he's going to doubt his abilities in the present, even though he really shouldn't, because that's been created off of using hindsight judgment on past things that he did, and that's not a useful thing for us to ever do. You can use that judgment to try to make better decisions going forward, but you don't want to make a value attribution as it relates to that. Because if you do that and he starts to see himself as like worthless and not perceptive and weak, that's going to bias the way that he enters future engagements, and that's not going to be useful to us against the Darkspawn, and it's not going to be useful to Alistair as he tries to build a stronger sense of self-esteem and worth. We've seen him do this constantly. It's his go-to. It's his autopilot compensation response, is to say, how did I not see this earlier? This is my fault because I didn't catch it. He's holding himself to a standard of, like, omniscience. And holding yourself to a standard of omniscience as a human is ridiculous, because we all live a subjective experience. There is no way for any of us to have an omniscient understanding of everything that's going on in the world. We don't have the ability to read minds. We don't have the ability to see every little tiny piece of an event that's happening right now. So Alistair holding himself to that standard, which is a standard of perfection, is, again, he's never going to meet that standard, so he's always going to see himself as less than whatever he's internalized about himself. Alistair would benefit immensely from having a more realistic view of himself, of his abilities, so that he can hold himself to a more realistic standard and see successes, as opposed to always seeing even successful things in reference to perfection, which equals failure. Yeah, I mean, and all of this could be his orientation to this is learned, right? Like, you don't just come out blaming yourself for things like this. It's very childlike in some ways, but his upbringing very well did not cultivate him seeing multiple perspectives on this. He gets a bit too myopic with his own control as it relates to this. He would have learned that. That would have been instilled into him. He might have had people passively or directly say that to him. There's all sorts of ways that a person develops this as being their compensation protocol for something like this in a time of adversity. So this is why it's important for us to understand where we come from and how certain ways we orient ourselves to adversity, relationships, successes, etc. That all is learned, which means that we can unlearn it, and it means we can learn something else. It also means that we can put that in its place in terms of accountability of, this was learned by people who maybe didn't have your best interest in heart, Alistair, or they did and they just didn't know any better, and we need to do better as an adult. Never compare yourself to perfection. You will always be a failure relative to it. Always. How did I not see this earlier? You're in the Fade, which isn't like the real world. The demon probably did something to your head. So I want to use the demon probably did something to your head to, again, help Alistair shift the accountability from himself to the demon.
Yes, well, try not to tell everyone how easily fooled I was. Are we going now? Wait, where are you going? What's happening to me? Hey!
Try not to tell everybody how easily fooled I was. Again, it's a key line. It's consistent with everything we're talking about here. Alistair, this was a fucking demon. This isn't some, like, little 7-year-old kid that tricked you into giving him a lollipop instead of medicine or something like that. This is a freaking demon that knows exactly what your vulnerability is, knows exactly what it is that you desperately want relative to your current experience, is able to cultivate in a way that feels real to you. This is not small potatoes, man. The amount of mental fortitude you need to resist a demon is maybe not even attainable. How easily fooled I was? No, dude. That thing would get anybody. Doesn't matter how strong you are. It's very important for Alistair to start connecting with the reality of these situations. Otherwise, he starts to increasingly become a liability. And we don't want that. Again, I know that this is a stream that's going a little bit longer than usual. I really appreciate you all being here. Thank you again for taking time out of your day or night to watch this on YouTube or to be here on Twitch. And again, those of you that financially support the stream, however you may do it, whether it's through being a member on YouTube, whether you're a subscriber on Twitch, whether you purchase merch or if you listen to my music or if you send bits or anything like that, thank you again for your financial support of the stream as well. It goes a long way to making sure that I continue to bring high quality content, that I can make sure that the videos get edited and everything on time, and pay my good friend Sean to do that. So thank you all very much for your support by way of that as well. I do really appreciate it. More than anything, I appreciate you being here with me. Yep, exactly, Dead Snark. It's a great point, and I'll read this for YouTube's purposes because it's already awesome. The kind of self-doubt that Alistair has makes sense why he's deferring to you to lead the group despite being the senior warden of the two of you. Yes, that is exactly correct. I also think that it would be incredibly devastating for Alistair if anything bad happened, because Alistair would blame himself even if something that was out of his control happened to one of us. And if Alistair has the insight to know that, his deference to me is a really good idea. Oh boy. Wow, this is a lot. That's one way to do that. I'm sure there is somebody watching this, whether you're live or on YouTube, that just went, about goddamn time, DrMick, that you use these things the way you're supposed to. I see you. I see you. I know I don't always use the game mechanics that are available to me. I know. I'm aware. I'm not a dummy. See ya. Strength. I will take that. Alright, let's go get Wynn out of here. This ought to be interesting because Wynn is the character we know the least about.
Maker, forgive me. I failed them all. They died and I did not stop it.
What's all this?
Death. Can you not see it? It's all around us.
You're in the Fade. This is a dream. I think she could appreciate this. She's a little bit easier to go direct on her because she's a mage. This would be within her realm of expectation.
Why was I spared? If not to help them, what use is my life, now that I have failed in the task that was given me? Leave me to my grief. I shall bury their bones, scatter their ashes to the four winds, and mourn their passing, till I too am dead.
Oh, God. A lot of self-imposed prison sentences here that just are completely unnecessary. People screw up, man. And this is extenuating circumstances. Again, I know that this is all cultivated, but so we gain access into Wynn's psyche here because we are in the Fade and we are seeing what her worst nightmare is. Her worst nightmare here, by the way, is not necessarily the death around her. Like, if you listen very closely, it's not that these people died. It's that she failed the task that was given to her. So Wynn is showing us, perhaps, that she is a woman of principle, a woman who wants to see things through, a woman who likes to be relied upon, and when she is relied upon to accomplish a task, she takes it very seriously, and failing that task is the nightmare. She's seen plenty of death. She probably is smart enough to know that the death is not by her hands. It is that she failed. Or perhaps that she perceives herself as failing, and that she has created that failure narrative. Because I'm a failure is this like weirdly omniscient view we like to put on ourselves sometime that isn't actually true. That's a value judgment that you make toward a set of circumstances or an event that happened. But that's the real nightmare here for her, that she failed. not that these people died. You have to fight this feeling, whatever it is.
Your blatant disregard for the souls of the dead strikes me as being utterly inappropriate.
Please think about what you're doing here and why.
I do not know what you are trying to tell me. Why must you make this more painful? And where were you when this happened? I trusted you as an ally, and you were nowhere to be found.
Ooh, so you know who I am. Can't you tell this is the Fade? Aren't you a mage? Okay, so this is really interesting because she recognizes me. Boy, this is the power of, I mean, her skepticism of me here is, it just speaks to how profound this pull is from the demons. Because that skepticism is super healthy here. Like, and we know that. I'm the only thing that's real, Wynn. Ignore everything else.
I do not know what this will accomplish, but I will do this if it will satisfy you. It is difficult to focus. It feels as though something is stopping me from concentrating. I've never had so much trouble. Perhaps some time away from this place will help me think clearly.
That sounds like a good idea.
Don't leave us, Wynn. We don't want to be alone.
Holy Maker. Stay away, foul creature.
Yeah, so there we go. She knows. Yep. You have to defeat them to leave.
Stay, Wynn. Sleep soundly in the comforting embrace of the earth. Do not fight it. You belong here with us.
No, not yet. My task is not yet done. It is not time yet.
Come. Come away to your rest.
Damn, these guys hit hard. Odds Cafe, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that very much.
Is it over? Thank the Maker for you. Wait, what's happening? Where are you going?
Left the Fade, Win. See you later. Alright, let's finish this fight.
Yes.
Okay. How would you say that Wynn's older age factors into fear, if at all? It's too hard for me to say. I don't know. There's a lot of ways that could impact it or not impact it. I don't know too much about Wynn, unfortunately. Alright, here we go. Sloth Demon, what's up?
What do we have here? A rebellious minion? An escaped slave? My, but you do have some gall. But playtime is over. You all have to go back now.
Oh, here I am. And there you are. You just disappeared. Well, no matter.
You tried to keep us apart. You led us from each other because you fear us, don't you?
You will not hold us, demon. We found each other in this place, and you cannot stand against us.
If you go back quietly, I'll do better this time. I'll make you much happier.
I don't really want anything that you offer.
I made you happy and safe. I gave you peace. I did my best for you, and you say you want to leave? Can't you think about someone other than yourself? I'm hurt. So very, very hurt.
We are going to have a conversation about abuse. Because what the Sloth demon just said is something that, if anybody's watching this and has experienced abuse, you have heard something that sounds a lot like what he just said. Part of the sequence of creating a system where abuse is possible is isolating and fostering a sense of reliance, where you are not seeing support as available from anybody else. You start getting into narratives where, you know, this thing that hurts you, I'm doing because I love you. I'm doing to help you. I'm doing this because you're just so desirable to me. I can't help myself. The number one most threatening thing to an abuser, to the people that they're victimizing or person they're victimizing, is autonomy. So what happens is you create a protocol where you challenge that autonomy, often through guilt trip and through vulnerability, or I should call it pseudo-vulnerability, like what this demon just did. I say, I don't want what you have to offer, or I need to get away from you. You hurt me. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to be in this engagement anymore. And that person is going to turn around and try to make that act of autonomy seem like an affront to them, almost as if your exertion of autonomy is an abusive act in and of itself. And because you're isolated, because you haven't gotten enough outside information and context to fight that against, or to fight against that, a lot of times victims may actually believe that. They will feel terrible for even thinking about exerting autonomy against an abuser, let alone acting upon it. And so what this Sloth demon is doing is incredibly manipulative, and it is incredibly abusive. He is essentially saying that you wanting to take care of yourself, acting on your own values, finding your own happiness, finding your own self-reliance is a selfish, awful act that is hurtful to others. How dare you try to engage on that? And I'm hurt by that. Somebody that loves you so much, somebody that's been trying to cultivate safety and security for you. How could you hurt me? And the scary thing about abuse is that it works. And the reason it works is because abuse doesn't happen immediately. Abuse is a cultivation. It's a long period of time where a person moves you into the space where these things become what I've just described. We have just met the Sloth demon, so it's a little bit easier for us to look at him and go, nah, fuck you, buddy. But if this was like a really long, curated thing, if the entire game up until this point was actually in the Fade, and we had been led to believe that this person was really helpful to us and was doing everything it could to save us, and everything outside of it was an attack and was dangerous and needed to be protected from it, this would be a hell of a lot harder moment. And that's what happens in abusive dynamics. You make everything else the enemy, so that when you're hurting them, you spin it in a way where it's like almost to their favor that you're hurting them. And you put a false context on it. Isolation is the first sign of abuse. So if you are a person who right now is watching this and you are with somebody or some folks where you are constantly being isolated out, you're not being allowed to engage with the outside world, that is a red flag. Does it mean you're getting abused? Not necessarily, but you really need to be on the lookout. If outside influence and critical thought is threatening, there's a good chance you might be in danger. But this is a very important moment for me to talk about that, because literally what he just said is, I mean, you hear that from abusers all the time. And it's really scary. It's very difficult to break. It's very hard to get out of. Your autonomy is hurtful to me. That's not good. I'm hurt, so very hurt. I'll take my chances. I'll do nothing you say. There's no reason for me to apologize here. I'll take my chances. I'll do nothing you say. Hold a firm line here. What do we do if we see it happening in a loved one? The isolation. Try to talk to them about it as best you can, but try not to. Also, you got to make sure you don't put them in danger. It depends on the context, but if you can manage to talk to them and maybe share a little bit of your experience or whatever, always speak to how you're being impacted by it, though, instead of trying to triangulate yourself into somebody else's issue. So you could put them in danger. The number one reason people don't leave abusive relationships is because they're afraid that they could be killed if they leave. And if you just kind of barge your way in, you actually might make the situation worse for them. So listen, let them know that you're there for them, remind them that you're there as a support system, that you care about them, all that kind of stuff, and that you're always there if they ever need you, that kind of thing. All right, I'll take my chances. I'll do nothing you say.
You wish to battle me? So be it. You will learn to bow to your betters, mortal.
Oh, and then he turns into an ogre. I'll do you one better. Wow. Wow, this thing is relentless. Cool.
You defeated the demon. I never expected you to free yourself. To free us both. When you return, take the litany of Adrala from my body. It will protect you from the worst of the blood magic.
Your body?
I cannot go with you. I have been here far too long. For you, it will have been an afternoon's nap. Your body won't have wasted away in the real world while your spirit lays in the hands of the demon.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You think you're gonna die?
Every minute I was here, the Sloth demon was feeding off of me, using my life to fuel the nightmares of this realm. There is so little of me left. I was never meant to save the Circle, or survive its troubles. I am dying. It is as simple as that.
There's gotta be something I could do.
Thank you, but it is too late for me. I do not fear what may come. They say we return to the Maker in death. And that isn't such a terrible thing. My only regret is that I could not save the circle. But you can. Take the litany off my body when you return. It is important.
It is always a fascinating dynamic when you have a person that knows they are going to die and has accepted that reality, and the people around them don't. It is something that inadvertently, people don't realize this, can actually leave a person who is in their final moments or on the final stretch feeling incredibly alone and isolated. If a person has acknowledged and accepted that their death is imminent, whether it's because of old age, whether it's because of a terminal illness or whatever, the anxiety that you experience as it relates to that is not theirs to mitigate for you. A lot of times people will have to kind of confront their anxiety around that, their sadness, their grief, and they will inadvertently invalidate a person who has accepted what's happening to them rather than sharing in that experience with them in a meaningful way. This guy knows he's going to die. He has accepted that he's going to die. It's a reality for him. We can certainly say something like, hey, is there anything I can do to maybe prevent this? He says, nope, this is it. This is what's going to happen. At that point, it's on us to be with him in that. To validate it. To make the experience meaningful in the way that he states and needs it to be meaningful. A lot of times people let their own aversion to grief and the emotional intensity that comes along with that, they let that get in the way, and it affects the way that you choose to act in relation to that, and you may actually inadvertently isolate out the person who is accepting that death is part of what's about to happen. Death is a reality of life. Every single one of us who is watching this video will die at some point. And when it comes time where a person realizes and understands that it's their time, that is okay. It sucks. Some of the most meaningful moments sometimes that people will say that they had is when they were able to share in those final moments with the person rather than avert themselves from it because of the emotional intensity. What about you? What's going to happen with you?
I can rest easy knowing you will save the circle. I'm not a hero. Perhaps trying to be one was foolish.
This is a backhanded compliment and a half. That's not true. You did a lot to help the circle.
Dark times, greater acts of heroism, eh? You may be right. Before I was taken to the circle, my mother said I was meant for greatness. I would be more than my ancestors could have ever dreamed. I hope I haven't disappointed her.
That is very intense, Kareen. I hope I haven't disappointed her. Are you done? Jeez, man. We can't make this call, but I think it's fair for me to say. I don't think it hurts anything for me to say this to him. In fact, I think the reason he's saying this to me is because there's a part of him that would like to have that reassurance, and obviously she's not available. He knows he's about to die. I think this could bring him some comfort. I think this is okay to say here. I hope I haven't disappointed her. You didn't, you know.
It is time for us both to be on our way. Remember the litany of Adrala. The circle is all that matters now. Thank you, and goodbye, friend.
Bye, man. Wow. Wow. Litany of Andrala. We now have it. Andrala of Verentium dedicated her life to the study of blood magic, the academic study rather than the practice. A deeply pious maid, she was renowned in her day for having found a counter to every form of mind control, a defense against dreamwalkers, and even counterspells to demonic summons. Her efforts went unappreciated in her native Tevinter, however. After 3 different magisters attempted to have her killed, she fled the country, choosing to take refuge in the land of Blessed Andraste's birth. She spent the remainder of her days with the Circle in Ferelden. The Litany of Andrala disrupts the casting of mind control spells. Use the litany whenever a creature tries to dominate another with magic, and it will interrupt the casting. Once the spell is in effect and a character is under a blood mage's power, it is too late. Damn. Well, that sure was wild, wasn't it? We made our way through the Fade. That's all we can ask for. Now we got the Litany of Andrala, and it's time to clean this mess up, which we will do in part 14. YouTube, thank you as always for taking the time to watch these videos and making it all the way to the end. I appreciate it so much. Make sure you follow all the links down in the description, like the stream, and leave a comment on your way out if you can. I'm glad we were able to get all the way through that. It was a lot of fun. And, yeah, as always, come hang out with us on Twitch. And, again, thank you for any financial support you throw my way. Those of you that buy merch while I'm offline, thank you very much for doing that. If you're binging the series, I'll see you in 14. And as always, if you're not binging it, you're waiting for the next episode to come out, we'll get it out to you as fast as we can. Make sure you check TikTok and stuff for any... by the time this goes out, there may be some TikToks that are starting up. Maybe not. Regardless, you can get some cool highlights from that by checking out the TikTok. Regardless, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for taking the time, and I'll catch you on the next one.